All right, we are done with our 3-day barbecue crawl. We started off at Cattleack in Dallas, made our ways to Miller's and Belton. By the time we got there, though, we were too full to eat, but the fine folks there would not let us leave without dessert, so we got some of those. Later Thursday night, we went to Valentina's Tex-Mex for tacos. Friday morning, we got up and went to Franklin BBQ. Then after Franklin, we made our way out to Lockhart, where we stopped at Kreitz, Smitty's, which we did not eat at. And then Saturday, we woke up early, drove out to Snow's in Lexington. After leaving Lexington, we drove to Taylor, Texas, and went to Louis Mueller. Starting off at Cattleack, it was good. My favorite there was actually the Todd Father sandwich. It's always my favorite, even though they have really good ribs. What did you like there, Marco?
Hi everybody. I think brisket was great, and I also loved pork ribs. As about the sandwiches, I think it was great, but I couldn't, I couldn't feel every kind of meat because they were all together. So I'd say brisket and pork ribs.
Yeah, the pork ribs are one of my favorites for sure. That night at Valentina's, we got the smoked carnitas, the pulled chicken, and the brisket taco, along with smoked corn. What else did we get? We got rice and chips and queso. Chips and queso, I mean, it's Texas, we love chips and queso. I didn't try anything besides the brisket tacos, but those are easily my favorite. It was just a fun night. We enjoyed the weather. It was a nice sunset there as we ate our tacos. It was really nice. Probably one of our favorite parts of the trip. You would agree, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree totally. I may suggest everyone to get there by the sunset because it was a magical atmosphere and we had great tacos.
Yeah, it was very Texas.
Yeah,
it was kind of nice. On Friday, we got to Franklin. We got in line at 7 o'clock, and the line went by fast. I mean, it was super fast because we were talking with folks. Between the people we met in line and James with Amo and Claim with Smokers showing up and talking barbecue, and made it for a good time. I've been to Franklin. This is my 4th time. This was easily the best meal I've ever had at Franklin Barbecue. I know it's hyped up, but the brisket and the ribs and the new sausage they have since the last time I had the sausage, and the turkey, man, that turkey was unbelievably good. It was the best meal I've ever had at Franklin. They haven't dropped off at all. The brisket was very good. It wasn't actually the best brisket, but every other meat absolutely blew away previous visits. If I had to pick a favorite from that day, it would be a toss-up between the pork ribs and the turkey, with the turkey probably winning, which is odd to say for a place like Franklin Barbecue. That turkey was unbelievable. What do you think, Marco?
well, it was my first time ever at Franklin's, and for us in Italy, Franklin's like institution. So I was really excited, and Fabio was also really excited. Say hi, Fabio.
Fabio's watching soccer back there.
Yeah, I was watching Inter Milan. And while in line, someone said that Franklin was great, but not as great as people is talking about. But yeah, we had a great meal. Turkey was the biggest surprise of my trip because we're always talking about brisket, ribs, pulled pork in Italy, but turkey was great. Not only at Franklin's, but we'll talk about it later. And also the atmosphere was great, and we had a nice pit tour.
Yeah, the pit tour was very generous. Was it Sean? Was that his name?
In 2 miles.
I don't remember his name.
35
but
is on the right.
What can I say is, being a pit master is a punishment.
It was very hot.
It was very hot.
And it wasn't an extremely hot day in Austin. It was probably only 90 degrees, but that pit room was something else. It reminded me of working in a steel mill.
A lot of respect for all the pit masters cooking for us.
Now, we drove out to Lockhart really just to tour the buildings and the history there. We really didn't plan on eating. When we got to Kreitz Market, Roy Perez wouldn't have anything to do with that. And he gave us some ham and some of their pork belly. And I'm not used to sauce at Kreitz. He said the motto, no forks, no sauce. And they've obviously changed that motto. I don't know if it's to stay competitive or just they kind of gave up on that idea since so many people asked for it. But the pork belly was really, really good. It was different from what you would get at, say, go and play your hind. You know, this is more of just a smoked pork belly with a sauce almost done like a brisket burn-in. Very soft, very tender, and I actually ate it with a cracker, which was really good. The ham wasn't anything special. It was like traditional ham. Sorry about that, y'all. We're driving here. But traditional ham, it was good, but nothing major. But I'd go back to Kreitz for that pork belly alone.
Yeah, as for Kreitz, I really love Mr. Perez. He's a great man. He recognized me after 4 years, and the first thing he said was, "What about your father?" Because 4 years ago I traveled with my father from Italy, so I really love the man. And he's a good guy. It's a good guy in a place to visit, even if you're. I don't want to offend anyone. Even if barbecue is not the greatest you can get around.
It's very good barbecue,
Yeah.
but it's not the best in the Central Texas area, but it's still very good barbecue.
Yeah,
And worth a visit just for the building and history alone.
exactly. As for meetings,
We didn't even eat.
yeah.
The building is very cool, but there's just no way we could have had another bite to eat. But it was very cool to go and see the smoke-filled room. I'd been there once before, but not very long. And so they were nice enough to show us around, show us some neat things about the building. I think the coolest thing was those cars.
Yeah.
Up at the very top, I'd never noticed or heard anybody else talk about the cars. That he'll collect them from kids and put them on a track.
Since a long time, because they were all smoked.
Yeah, most of the cars were black from the smoke. But yeah, you could see cars that had been there, had to be 50 years probably, and some you can see were probably the last 10 years. That was really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So Thursday or Friday night, we were going to go see some high school football, but we were all exhausted. They're still on Italy time, and I'm just tired. It's been a long weekend of food and fun and everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
So we called it early that night, and we decided to go to Snow's. We left our hotel about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
We arrived in Lexington just around 7 o'clock. We were staying in Pflugerville. And yeah, there was probably about 30 people ahead of us. I know there was 30 people ahead of us because we did a countdown later on. About 7:30, Carrie came out, told us to pick a number, and we all counted back throughout the line. About that time, they said there was 76 people there?
76, yeah.
Yeah, so then he had a little random ad to pull random numbers, and if you won, the first prize was to go to the front of the line. Second prize was like 10% off, or a t-shirt.
A hat, yeah.
Or a hat, yeah. And the third one was barbecue sauce. I thought that was pretty cool. They made the line fun. And then opened up at just a little before 8 o'clock, was 7:55?
5 to 8, yeah.
Yeah, we had our food really fast. Much faster than Franklin. Franklin was honestly really slow cutting, but I get it. There's so many people like us videotaping and questions and
Taking pictures, yeah.
I get it. But Snow's was really, really efficient. We sat down and had our food, and it really felt like a picnic. We're outside on the tables, and Marco said it best. Felt like you're at somebody's house, and it sounds like good barbecue that you would eat at a cookout. He had a good point with that, in my opinion.
Yeah. You cannot compare Franklin's barbecue to Snow's barbecue. I say Franklin because Franklin is number 2 on the top 50 list. It's obviously barbecue as Franklin's, but
like I said, it's a craft barbecue versus backyard, because
yeah,
Marco made a great point. It is kind of a separate category where Snow's wasn't as rich as like a Franklin or a Cattleack. It was very good. It's something that you can eat every day, is what you said.
exactly.
Yeah. So he made a very, very good point. It kind of opened my eyes
Thank
up to the glorious place that Snow's really is. It's a fantastic place. And Miss Tootsie, she was awesome.
Yeah, she was awesome.
She was super, super friendly as always. Made sure that we got our bellies full and our next
We
hug,
came
basically.
we came with a Prosecco wine bottle because my friend Mauro, aka Max, told me Tootsie and Carrie love Prosecco, Italian wine, so we gave him a bottle and we took pictures together, and she was great. I felt like she was my grandma.
Yeah.
So if you're going to vote, we need to talk about Louis Mueller.
Yeah, Louis Mueller. I forgot
Yeah.
we went there afterwards. We didn't plan to eat, but we had enjoyed turkey so much on this trip. We just turkey and sausage both.
Yeah.
We decided to get turkey and sausage, and
Twice.
yeah, we ended up doing it twice. In the first round, we got a quarter pound of turkey, then a sausage link.
Yeah.
When we finished that, we're like, all right, we need to get another quarter and another sausage link.
Yeah. That's the advantage of a place with a short line.
Yeah, the second
So-
time around was a little bit longer than the first time.
Yeah.
But the first time we were done in 5 minutes, second time about 10 minutes,
yeah.
which wasn't bad at all. So yeah, that was nice. Of course, the building at Louis Mueller there in Taylor is unbelievable. Many great pictures that I'll put at the end of this video from there and from our time on the trip. It was a good time.
Yeah,
It went
great
by
time.
fast though.
Yeah.
It really did. So overall, you don't have to tell me your favorite if you don't want to, but what was kind of the highlight?
I will. If we're talking about food, on the podium, I will put in the first place together Cattleack and Franklin's. Maybe Franklin's still a little bit better.
You know, before this trip, I would have probably said Cattleack was better than Franklin. But
But
now,
yesterday's barbecue was amazing.
that Franklin experience is, like I said, I don't understand how on my fourth trip it could be so much better than my first, second, or third. It was a whole new ballgame. And if you look at James's from Aim and Claim the Smokers, he said the exact same thing. He lives in Austin. He said this trip was the best he's ever done. It's on a whole other level. I don't know what the
So
difference was.
we've been lucky, maybe coming
Yeah.
from Italy and getting some of his best. So this is about the food. If we talk about the experience, I'd say Snows,
Definitely.
because Snows is really Texas barbecue, Texas country, Texas atmosphere. So if you have to pick up one day only, I'd say Snows, definitely.
I would agree.
I'm saying it by my point of view of a Texan living in Italy or an Italian loving Texas. So I felt at home at Snows. So I'd say Snows again.
Yeah, I agree. The Snows experience was something else. I grew up in the country, but live in the city now, and I really miss it. So when I arrived and could hear for y'all that don't know, there's a livestock arena right next to Snows, and you could hear the cattle mooing, and I was excited. The morning air, hearing the cows moo, it got me really excited for my experience at Snows. And I don't know, barbecue at 8 a.m. isn't actually that bad, is it?
No, great breakfast.
Yeah.
Great breakfast.
It was a really good breakfast. And I could say the same thing with the atmosphere at Valentina's. Like Marco and I mentioned earlier, the sunset and being outside during that time at the picnic tables, and then they turn on the string lights. It was really cool. You felt
Yeah.
very Texan.
That's Texan, that's America.
Yeah.
As I said to you, Mike, for us in Italy, we have the myth, the legend of Texas barbecue. We buy Texas barbecue and we see great photos and taken by great photographers. But I understood that it's pretty much easy to have great Texas photos, great barbecue photos, just because of the places. So
Yeah. Not to take anything away from the photographers, but
Exactly.
we got beautiful food,
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
Texas scenery.
exactly.
Yeah.
I need to come back soon to Texas.
Definitely. So. All right. Well, that pretty much summarizes our trip. Oh, one other thing Marco did mention to me is, again, not take away from the food at Cattleack and Franklin, because it was fantastic. It just, everything is kind of new there and not much of a history. So seeing the history and a place like, Smitty's and just seeing the setup and the atmosphere of Snows is totally different. You can't compare the two.
I think the atmosphere gives an extra kick to food.
Exactly. It was a great time. So y'all, thanks for coming along on this journey. It was fun doing the videos. I know the sound quality wasn't the best, but again, I will take care of that. If I get at least 100 subscribers, I am well on my way. So be sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and you have a great day. Ciao.
Ciao.